All right, what's going on, guys? Farzi Vasugan here with you. I got my Super Bowl 54 Christmas hat on. Hopefully, your Christmas is merry and jolly. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to all of you. That's about as merry as it's gonna get if you're Kansas City today. That's as merry as it's gonna get. But here we are. Listen, I've already had one person push back on my picks, which I just posted, saying that the Chiefs are going to be the upset of the week. Guys, I have the Broncos as my lock of the week. If you really do believe the Chiefs are going to pull off an upset, go ahead and insert a nice little deposit over at our friends' sportsbook app, DraftKings, and let me know what you're going to do. What if they win? That ain't happening, Jason. The odds of them moving back to Missouri are much greater. Much, much greater than them winning today. Like, come on, let's be real. You have Chris Oladokin, no Tyquan Thornton, no Rashi Rice. You don't have a running game. You haven't had a running game all year long. It's just been good in short yarded situations, which is good, but you're going to need a lot more than that from your running back. You have third string offensive tackles, plural, third string offensive tackles playing for you today. This is going to be a Christmas massacre, folks. I hate to say it, but that's exactly what it's going to be. I'm just pulling out my notes here because just looking at the Broncos coming into this game, you got to start with the defense when you talk about the Broncos. I mean, this is a Broncos team that is top 5 in total defense against the run. They've got the most sacks in the league. They're the best third down defense in the NFL, and they're the second best red zone defense in the league. And the Chiefs have been extremely consistent on offense, even with Patrick Mahomes playing. This Chiefs team has looked really good at times on third down and in the red zone, and at times just looked the complete opposite. So I just, by the way, the lighting is not helping. That's what this is for those asking. Got this in Christmas of 2020. Oh, that's more comfortable. Just turning it that way. Yeah, I also realize it's out of the frame as well, but that's what the hat is for those wondering. A Super Bowl 54 hat. I'm sure they have one for 57 and 58. I just don't have those. I just don't. Backups are better than starters. No, they're not. No, they're not. they're most definitely not. Regardless. Oh, what's up, Jeff? Merry Christmas to you and Jax as well. You guys are going to be... Hey, shout out to Jeff's son, Jackson. You guys have seen me post about Jackson from the Ronald McDonald House, just what he's going through, battling leukemia, third time. Meeting him, though, you would never notice any of that stuff. Dude is full of energy, full of life. He raised, I believe, more than 70 tickets to help families go to Arrowhead today. That is awesome. Air horns for that. Listen, there are not. Oh, wait, let me. That did not. I don't think that went through. There we go. Let's do that one more time. Air horns. There we go. Yes. We're not going to be using the air horn soundbite much today. So might as well use it for something good. So it's always good when we see things like that, especially the time of year, the time of giving. Tyler Perry's assisted living season date 6. I don't know what that means. I assume that's what you're watching instead tonight. That might be, listen, if I wasn't doing this, if I wasn't podcasting, I would not be watching this game. I might watch the first half. But the second half, I might be doing something else, man. But we'll see. Yes, Merry Christmas to all of you guys. Appreciate you guys. What are your thoughts on today's game? I want to know how you guys are feeling for this one, because what did I say? 31-13. And honestly, I think that touchdown comes in garbage time. Maybe they get it before garbage time. I don't know. Yeah, I had to fix the mic, actually, Kim. Yes, I did make the adjustment there. Sometimes I forget to make that adjustment. So, but no, it is the correct setting. That's why you heard this. Unfortunately, after the game, you're going to be hearing a lot of this. Yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot of that if you're a Chiefs fan. Look for a couple underdog winnings today. I assume you're talking about. Surely you are referring to, for the couple of underdogs, you're referring to Washington and Minnesota, I would imagine, Sean. Look, not trying to be a hater. You guys know me. I'm going to be realistic with you guys. I don't get any pleasure in picking against the Chiefs, but Chris Oladokun is your starting quarterback today. That's QB3, not 1 or 2. You don't have a running game. You have third string offensive tackles. You don't have Rashee Rice. You don't have Tyquan Thornton, your two best wide receivers, even though Rice has not been very good this year and they barely even use Thornton. I mean, well, what does this team have on offense? I actually expect the Chiefs defensively to put up a fight. But the problem is, I think when time of possession does not go in your favor, and that can be due to the offense not playing so well, that can be a big part of it. Chiefs defense is going to get worn out. So I am going 31-13 in this one. But yeah, see, John, I'm with you, John. Like, let's see some young guys out there. The fact that Tyquan Thornton, Rashee Rice, who didn't play last week, but now they're on IR. We don't know about Nico Remigio yet. At least I don't think so. I mean, you have a lot of wide receivers who are injured at the moment. So can we please get Jalen Royals out there? The guy has not been targeted once all season. Nico Remigio is questionable. He did not practice each of the last 2 days. Yeah, I think that means he's out. George Karlaftis is questionable with an illness. Nick Bolton, Derek Nottie also questionable with an illness. Jalen Morris questionable. Practice all week. We'll see, but I still don't have any expectation from this Chiefs offense. I really don't. I think a majority of the scoring will be in garbage time. Hate to say it, but y'all know me, man. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Traveling to San Fran for the Super Bowl and will be wearing my Chiefs attire. Shout outs to you, Desiree. Yeah, you rep those Chiefs. That's awesome. Wish the Chiefs were going to be there this year, but I guess at some point you're going to need a little bit of a break. Listen, I will say this. Selfishly speaking, I could use a little low-key January just once. That's unfortunate. They're laughing at you, Antoinette, but hopefully you have a damn good time at the game. Listen, I told you guys earlier this week, I know you used Royals for fuck's sake. I agree. Royals, Bossa, I mean, Brashard Smith put money on Butker to make 2 field goals today. That I did. I think that is a good call. But to go back to the comment from John, it's like, let's use these rookies. I heard all offseason how great Kansas City's draft was. I know Simmons is on IR. I know Omar Norman-Lott's on IR. Ashton Gelati's been solid. I think he's growing as a third rounder. Let's see more of Noah Williams. Let's see Jaden Hooks, who you drafted last year. I don't need Mike Edwards on the field. I don't. I'm sorry. Like, I just don't need him. He was good a couple of years ago for Kansas City, but this year he started on the team's practice squad. Nobody else wanted him. Let's see some of the young guys, because you need to use these 2 preseason games. And yes, they are preseason games for Kansas City. As harsh as that may sound, it is the truth. You got to use them like preseason games where you're using it to evaluate these players moving forward. Because right now I need to know, who are my cornerbacks? Do we have a cornerback room that can move forward in the event that Trent McDuffie might not come back? Because Trent McDuffie is on IR. There's a chance he may have played his final game. What about Leo Chenal? Leo Chenal might not be coming back to Kansas City. Man, I hope I am wrong on that. Leo Chenal is severely underrated in Kansas City's defense. I do not want that guy playing for another football team. But it might soften the blow to see him go play elsewhere if I see Jeffrey Bossa can do some good things in these next 2 games. I'd like to see that. But the Chiefs tried so damn hard to win last week's game with their veterans, and they got their ass kicked by 17 points by the Titans. 17 points to the Titans, one of the worst teams in football. I understand you were down 2 quarterbacks and you're already using third string offensive tackles, but my God. I mean, that team was actually trying to win last week. Listen, they're always going to try to win, but with their veterans, they weren't using their young guys to see what they have in them. They actually wanted to try really hard to beat the Titans, and they had their worst loss of the season. And listen, I think defenses get a little bit of a what's all right. Defenses, I think, get judged unfairly sometimes because I've always said a good offense helps a good defense, and same thing the other way around. But when an offense goes 3 and out so many times, a defense can only hold their own for so long. When you're forcing them to be on the kind of like that Texans game, the Chiefs did not allow a first down the entire third quarter. And then what do you know? The Chiefs commit a turnover on down in their own 31 on the worst 4th and short play call you could have ever called. And the Texans just took care of business because they were already in field goal range. They took advantage of the short field and got a touchdown. So defenses are going to get exhausted and worn out if you're not returning the favor. And unfortunately, many times in these last couple of years, we've seen the Chiefs offense not return the favor. And listen, I blame so much of it on scheming. And I think that's where Matt Nagy is responsible. So I'd like to see the Chiefs try to improve on that in the future. Obviously, I'm not expecting any of that for this game, but let's see some of that. Jason says, I'm not so sure they were trying to win last week. I mean, then what were they trying to do? Because they had their veterans. They had Mike Edwards out there over Jaden Hicks. In what world do you need Mike Edwards over Jaden Hicks? What do you need your experienced quarterbacks over Noel Williams? Why was Jalen Royals not playing for you last week when Rice and Thornton were already down? In what world do you need any of those guys playing over your young guys? And listen, I don't know what exactly is going on with Rice and Thornton with the concussion protocol. Those things are not, I mean, there are some strict rules with the injury report, but they're not very strictly enforced at the same time, if you know what I mean. And the fact that they're just going to put these guys on IR with 2 games to go, boy, that's 3 and out all day long. Yeah, that might be the Boo Birds might come out at Arrowhead tonight. Not because the team's moving, but because of that performance you might see. And listen, I'm not expecting much. I'm just not. But here's the ultimate thing. And I think, there's only so much we can really talk about with backups on the field. Because listen, am I faulting the Chiefs for tonight's game? No. I mean, this has been a bad season already. And you have a lot of backups, a lot of second, third stringers. There are a lot of guys that are signed on this Chiefs team right now. I have no idea who in the hell they are. I'm not going to pretend like I know. I'm really not. There are a lot of guys on that field. But here's what I need to address here, because I've heard for so long, not a lot of you guys are Chiefs fans, but for you non-Chiefs fans listening, and I know you guys are watching and listening, which I appreciate, by the way, a lot of you guys have told me, non-Chiefs fans have told me that Patrick Mahomes is only good because of the product around him. He's a product of his environment. Really? Did you watch last week's game? Because if it's really Andy Reid who made Patrick Mahomes, if it was Patrick Mahomes who really needed Andy Reid, explain to me the debacle last week. Because even before the injury for Gardner Minshew, Gardner Minshew, who has started a lot of games in his career, it's not like this guy was some undrafted rookie this year. That dude was just underthrowing. He was throwing balls to Travis Kelce's feet. I mean, Travis Kelce is a tight end. Tight ends are tall dudes. I do not expect a tight end to ever, while trying to go full speed, be able to catch a ball down to their damn ankles. I don't know one single tight end that'll do. They might make diving plays, but when they're doing it, especially when it's kind of, we talk a lot about behind the shoulder passes. This one was almost like a behind the ankle pass, if you will. Oh, well, for sure, Antoine. I mean, these guys are being held off to maybe trade or just keep them healthy. That way they don't have a freak accident these last 2 games. I get that. I 100% get that. But I just feel like, if you're going to put Rice, Thornton on IR, if Remigio, who I doubt is going to play today, There was a guy named Jalen Royals who you drafted who got a lot of hype. And I understand what fans and the media think. We're not evaluating these players. We're not in there in practice every day. But how is it that Jalen Royals, who does have talent, how in the hell does he not have any opportunity to get one target this season? Let me give you an example. And I know Kansas City's special teams unit has not been good, but Kansas City gave up on Sky Moore. Like the same year, Sky Moore in 2022, his rookie year, was messing around, not doing so well with the punt returns, especially that Colts game. Well, Sky Moore is with the 49ers now, and yes, their special teams unit, their blockers are certainly better than Kansas City's, especially because they don't hold all the time, but I'm still seeing a far different Sky Moore in the return game. My point is, I think there's an evaluation problem going on in the last year or two with Kansas City. Because Marquez Valdez-Scantling, like, again, with him, he's dropping passes with the Chiefs when Matt Nagy became the offensive coordinator. When Eric Bieniemy was the offensive coordinator, MVS did not have drop issues. He leaves the Chiefs, and he's catching everything Derek Carr's thrown to him in New Orleans. Who else? DeAndre Hopkins. His first game as a Chief, he lined up offsides, and he was dropping some passes. Then he goes to Baltimore this year. This dude's catching every tough pass in his direction. I don't know, man. Something's just up with the offensive coaching staff, the scheming, and I think that's been a big part of it. Listen, coaching matters in the league. When you make a mistake over and over again, it just tells me the coaches have not addressed it well enough, and they're not holding the players accountable. I just think in the past, specifically with Bieniemy, those mistakes were never on repeat. Answer this for me. Let me just put it this way. Name me one issue on offense you saw committed over and over and over again under Eric Bieniemy. The only one I can point to was Orlando Brown. I feel like they never figured out Orlando Brown under Eric Bieniemy. But anytime I saw Patrick have a bad game, or if Travis Kelce had a bad game, whoever had a bad game on the offensive side, you saw them clean it up. Because what was the big narrative with Mahomes coming off a loss? He always comes back stronger than the previous week. You always saw that. And we have not seen that these last couple of years. So again, I attribute that to coaching. Who do I think scores a touchdown in the Chiefs game today for either the Chiefs or the Broncos? I put RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey is the guy I really like. This dude has been a scoring machine for that Broncos offense. I mean, listen, that was a guy I was really hoping Kansas City would have gotten in the second or third round. I think he was taken in the second round by Denver. I like what RJ Harvey's done for them, filling in for J.K. Dobbins, who was with the Chargers before joining Denver. I like what RJ Harvey has done for that Broncos team, both on the ground and through the air. I got him for an anytime touchdown score, and I think you guys should as well. Yeah, and again, the evaluation thing, Antoine, it's weird because they traded for Joshua Uche last year, and they didn't use him. Uche goes to the Eagles, and he has a pretty damn good season. How many sacks does Uche have? Because Karlaftis, I think, has 6 or 7 sacks this season. Might get one today. I don't know. Unless he doesn't play. Joshua Uche. Why am I not seeing his name? He only has 1 sack, but he's had a lot of pressures this season. I just remember him getting off to a really good start with the Eagles this year. Is he on IR or something? No, he's active. Okay, interesting. I thought for whatever reason Uche had a better start this season than I initially thought, but I mean, that's Eagles defense doesn't have a lot of sacks as far as individuals go. They have in total 37 sacks, still more than Kansas City's, if I'm not mistaken. But they let Uche go. They cut Mike Pennell for Derek Nottie to come back. Some of the decisions this year have been very questionable. Where did I get this shirt? I apologize. I have no idea. My family got it for me. This was Christmas last year. This was Christmas in 2020. So I truly do apologize. I don't know where I got these from, but my family got it for me. So thank you, family. Appreciate the Christmas gifts over the years. Aaron Rodgers is garbage. Listen, Listen, I feel like he's doing better this year than last year, which, again, I think coaching matters. I don't think Robert Saleh was necessarily the issue, but I don't think he was a problem either. But, man, you go to a team that has Mike Tomlin as their coach. You want to know how many losing seasons Mike Tomlin has had in Pittsburgh? This many. And in a division, and I know Joe Burrow was unavailable for half the season, but they still scored a lot of points with Joe Flacco. And then Lamar Jackson, again, I know they dealt with some injuries there also, but he came back. The Ravens got healthier this season. But this Steelers team, which a lot of people keep writing off, me included, they find ways to come through. And I think this year with Aaron Rodgers, nobody really knew what the expectation was going to be for the Steelers. I'm not saying Rodgers is the comeback player of the year, but man, I think he's having a much better season than I thought. And I think than what most people expected, for sure. I know I'm a Chiefs fan, but would love to see the Steelers and Rodgers go win a Super Bowl. That'd be interesting. That'd be a really interesting way to finish his career. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not saying you're predicting that. That's what you would love to see. That's what you want to see. That'd be an interesting story for sure. And I know a lot of people have their opinions about Aaron Rodgers. Fair enough. But listen, this guy's been a great player. It's just he's fell short so many times in Green Bay. And Green Bay was kind of an interesting place because I think his entire time with the Packers, they never once drafted a wide receiver in the first round, if I have that correctly. Like, think about that. You have a quarterback that has won, 4 MVPs and a Super Bowl? And you never once got him a wide receiver in the draft in the first round? That's pretty tough. No matter who they get, they won't utilize them. You're not wrong, John. Well, Julie says Jacksonville and Bears Super Bowl. Man, if we get a Liam Cohen and a Ben Johnson Super Bowl, redo the Coach of the Year voting, split that trophy in half and give it to them. That would be quite a Super Bowl. I remember watching, I can't remember if it was ESPN or CBS Sports, but they were predicting who their Super Bowl matchups were going to be. And it was like Broncos versus Bears or Patriots versus Seahawks. And I'm like, dude, imagine if you saw these predictions before the season. I don't even think the analysts themselves would have believed you. No way. Based on your picks, can the Ravens be eliminated this week? So I haven't done a lot of looking into that, but I was checking. I think if the Steelers win, I think the AFC North is wrapped up. Is it not? In fact, I'm honestly wondering if the entire AFC of all 7 playoff teams will be determined. Maybe not their exact seeding, because not one single team has won their division yet in the AFC. I think that the only team that's won their division is the Philadelphia Eagles. That's the only team that's locked up their division. The Steelers have not even locked up their division. They can with a win because they're 9-6 and the Ravens are 7-8. Yeah, all you have to do if you're the Steelers is win. And if you're the Texans are the only wild card team that has yet to clinch. So it's either going to be Houston or Indy. I mean, look, I will say Phillip Rivers has actually impressed me. He's playing better than I thought. But who are the Texans playing? The Chargers. And listen, I'll give the Chargers credit. I keep writing them off. But at some point, that banged up offensive line is going to face a really good defensive front, which the Texans have. And they're going to have to find a way to battle through against those guys. So I think Houston is going to win. And if they don't win, I would bet good money that the Jaguars are going to beat the Colts. And the Steelers, I know the Ravens are playing the Packers. I think they're visiting the Packers. Who are the Steelers playing against? They're playing the Browns. The Steelers won. The Steelers won that game. So yes, I do think the entire AFC playoff picture will be determined by this weekend. I truly do believe that. The NFC side, I think there's a good possibility we might get Panthers Bucks for Sunday Night Football. And that might be the only significant game because the rest of it is just about seeding. So, I mean, listen, you might not get the number 1 seed, but hey, you're going to the playoffs, especially if you're a team like Jacksonville, New England, teams that a lot of people did not have any expectations for. Not at all. What do you think about our new quarterback? I really like him. I think he's going to do good today, Mr. Cleancut says. You know what, man? Chris Oladokun has done some good things in the guys. A lot of you are asking where I got the shirt. I apologize. I don't know. This was a Christmas gift. So I'll look this up and I'll let you guys know. So give me some time. I'll post it on my social media today. But the Oladokun question, in the preseason games that we've seen Oladokun, and I know Shane Buechele, who the Chiefs are bringing back, he's done this as well. Oladokun's got some speed. Oladokun in practice serves as Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields back in the past when the Chiefs would prepare for those quarterbacks. And that's really helped Kansas City play well. I remember Bill Belichick did a podcast in the offseason, and he praised Damon Heward. Now, as you all remember, Damon Heward played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Before joining the Chiefs, he was Tom Brady's backup in New England. Bill Belichick mentioned he gave a game ball to Damon Heward. I think it was the AFC Championship game because Damon Heward, as the backup quarterback, one of his biggest duties was to help defenses prepare for these games. And Damon was a big factor in helping that defense prepare for Peyton Manning because Heward would basically act as Peyton Manning in practice. So that's really what Oladokun has done over his time in Kansas City because of his speed. He has always acted as Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, any of these other quarterbacks who you see, especially smaller quarterbacks that run the ball a lot more or scramble, I should say, more than the average quarterback. So he tends to do a lot of that. And I think, we'll see him. We'll see him run a lot today. Big Chiefs fan here from Nebraska. Shout out to Nebraska. What is your opinion on what the hell happened to Kansas City this year? I think there's been some inconsistency issues for sure. Oh, what's up, Aaron? Merry Christmas to you as well. I think there's been some inconsistency issues with the offense. Listen, the defense has been inconsistent as well. But I think the defense has also kept the Chiefs in a lot of games this year. The Chiefs look like the scariest team in football going into November. And people wondered, could they surpass the Broncos and get back the division title, or at least take first place by Thanksgiving or by December 1st, neither of which were the case, not even close to it. I mean, look at Kansas City in the last few games. They've lost, 6 of their last 7? And that one game they won was in overtime against the Colts. I mean, the Chiefs are extremely lucky to have even won that game because the defense absolutely shut down the Colts. Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones both had their worst game. Both have been amazing this year, but they both had their worst games of the season against Kansas City up until that point. I know it's been worse and worse more recently for the Colts because of the Daniel Jones injury and just having them having the audible on such short notice like that. But I mean, the Chiefs are lucky they're not on a 7-game losing streak right now. A 4-game streak is sad. That is a long football. But man, 6 of 7 and your only victory was that Colts game that went into overtime. And listen, they've been competitive. They were close against the Bills, although they scored a touchdown late to cut the deficit to 1 score. The Broncos, they had the lead in the fourth quarter. The offense just fell dead asleep in the last 2 drives. Not a single first down. The Cowboys game, man, they got off to a great start in that one. Lost by 3 points. The Cowboys just surged after the first quarter. The Chiefs have been there in a lot of their games, but they're not able to push through in these close games, which was the complete opposite of last season. So they've got to figure out those adjustments. And if they can do that, I think they'll come back stronger next year. And listen, my biggest thing is this. I know Patrick Mahomes is strong. I know he's built different. I know the dude's tough. The guy played through a shattered ankle a couple of years ago in the playoffs. I mean, that should not be forgotten about at all. But we're talking about a torn ACL here. Man, my biggest thing, do not rush him back. If you got to miss 1 or 2 games, you're going to miss 1 or 2 games. It's not the end of the world. I will gladly, not that an 0-2 start is going to be not frowned upon, because the 2 times the Chiefs have started 0-2 under Andy Reid, they missed the playoffs both times, this year and 2014. But here's my thing. Do not rush Patrick Mahomes back. You need him. Are you not seeing this football team without Patrick Mahomes? Because, again, the non-Chiefs fans have said, oh, well, Mahomes is only good because of the environment around him. Well, really? Tell me what the hell happened last week, and tell me what's going to happen tonight and next game. I don't know what's going to happen next week. The Raiders are also terrible. They just put Bowers on IR. That is, like, for betting purposes, that game next week between the Chiefs and Raiders, I have no idea who in the hell is going to win that game. I really don't. But what I'm telling you here is the Chiefs get an offensive line for Patrick Mahomes. Go look up highlights. Go look up Patrick Mahomes 2018 highlights on YouTube. 2018, 2019, 2020. That's when the Chiefs had probably their best offensive line under Mahomes. And that's before Creed Humphrey, Joe Thuney, and Trey Smith. The offensive line was so great back then. The interior offensive line, not as good as what we saw the last few years with Thuney, Smith, and Humphrey, but overall body of work, the offensive line was great the first 3 years with Mahomes. It's just that, you can tell watching that last game, Mahomes has masked a lot of problems with this team. A lot of it. I mean, the bad running game, the bad route running with the receivers, the offensive scheme in general. Oh, Mahomes has masked a lot of that. And listen, Mahomes has to improve. There are some, the deep pass game he's got to work on, which, again, I think coaches have got to do a better job helping him do better on that, because I've seen Mahomes hit on that 99 times out of 100 in the past. But, man, he's really covered for a lot of holes on this Chiefs football team. I mean, look at Super Bowl 55. I know a lot of people love to hold that game against Mahomes, which I don't think is fair. And there aren't a lot of times where I'll say that something's unfair towards a professional athlete. The guy had a junior varsity offensive line. He was perpendicularly horizontal with his body, and he hit Darrell Williams in his helmet right here, could not hold on to the football. Tyreek Hill drops a pass on the first drive of that Super Bowl. I mean, the guy got no help from anybody except for Travis Kelce in that game. And one tight end can only do so much for you. So there's been some horrible officiating in some of those losses. There's horrible officiating in every game, Kenneth. There's horrible officiating in every single game. There was horrible officiating, especially against the Chiefs. Well, against both the Colts and the Chiefs, but I'd say more so the Chiefs. And the game against the Colts, they still found a way to win. You can never use bad officiating as an excuse for not winning football games. You've got to find ways to overcome that. I've said that many, many times, especially when people complain about calls going in favor of the Chiefs, which, I wouldn't necessarily say they're in favor of the Chiefs. It's just opposing defenses make crucial mistakes at the worst moments. Was there that missed pass interference? Not that Mahomes was on the field for it, like against Atlanta? Yes. I know a lot of people love to bring up the James Bradberry hold. That was a hold. Bradberry straight up admitted it after the game. Not one single Eagles player or coach was protesting to the officials when that happened. That was 100% hold. And if you look at some of the sideline shots they show on the replay, because they'll show replays of what happened on the field, but they'll also show sideline shots, and you'll see the Eagles sideline just reacting negatively because they know that it was a hold. But people just like to bring that up. Yeah, sure. Bad officiating, that exists all around, man. But, man, I don't know what else to say. Like, you got to figure out a way to overcome that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you guys joining me on this Christmas morning or afternoon, depending where you are. We are going to sign off here. We'll come back at halftime. We will recap the first half between the Chiefs and the Broncos. It probably won't be a pretty first half recap, and I don't think it'll be a pretty post-game recap as well. We will be doing the Chiefs Zone podcast after the game. I'll have the link for you guys to call in. It'll be a late night, but we'll be up here with you. I'm sure a lot of you guys don't have anywhere to be tomorrow morning, so join us. Sleep in tomorrow night, or tomorrow morning rather, and join us late tonight. We will have the Chiefs Zone podcast recapping the game. I'm Farzin Vasugian. I'll talk to you all at halftime.